in today's technology. 50 years to come, our children's children will read the Quran and they will explain it befitting the time that they exist. That is the miracle. The Quran is for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That is the miracle. So you read this verse in Surah Al-Ankabut. It has two faces. I'll try to give both. Look at the verse that Allah said. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ كَمَثَلِ الْأَنكَبُوتِ اتَّخَذَتْ بَيْتًا. Then Allah said, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ. I want you to underline the word أَوْهَن. إِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتُ الْأَنكَبُوتِ بَتْ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah said, the similitude of those whom you take to protect you. Don't you see that they build their house like the spider's house? Those who you want them to protect you. Allah said, these people, look at their house. Then Allah said, oh, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ. The most horrible of all houses is that of the spider. If you know the implication of this parable. Awhan means horrible. Something that have no, if a spider build a house, it lives in its apartment. You could see the spider. Look at the spider. That's your house. You could see the house. It's a horrible house. You could just take your finger, destroy it within a minute. In the awhan, the most horrible houses is that of the spider. Today, inshallah, scientifically, I'm going to give you what is happening in the house of the spider, according to scientists. We have over 2,000 spider species all over. Some of them as big as this spider. Some even big, the tarantula. In the Amazon rainforest of South America, I've seen a spider gizmo, and I was like, subhanallah. Big. It can catch chicken or small lamb. A newborn lamb, the spider will grab it. Can you imagine that? Those spiders can be found in the rainforest of the Amazon. We have over 2,000 spider species. All of them have one thing in common. That is, they spawn the web with a gland that comes out of them. Most spiders are blind. So recently, through studying animals, science are telling us today the word awhan that the Quran said, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ, the most horrible of all houses. But if you go deep in the lexical Arabic connotation of the meaning, the in-depth meaning of awhan, it also means a horrible, scary, physical, and mental horror. Awhan, distress. Why so? Wallahi, less than 50 years, a German scientist gave us an in-depth research about the spider. The spider's female spider is always 2 or 3 times bigger than the male spider. If the male came and mate with the female spider, at the end of the mating, she eats him. You know that? 95% or maybe 98% of the chances are if he mates with her, she ends up eating him. And he knows she will eat him, but he sacrifices his life for that. So scientists are bewildered about that. Now they come to understand that if she eats the male spider, there are certain nutrients that he is the one that has it that will make her egg to be good size and produce beautiful, healthy spiderlings. That is the first horror. Awhan, horrible house. Wallahi, when I read that, I took it to the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington, and I went to the Faculty of Zoology. They told me that's the truth. Then I make sujood shukur to glorify Allah. Say, Allahu Akbar. She eats him because in his body there are some nutrient that is good to lay beautiful egg that will produce healthy spiderlings. That's number one, horror in the house of spider. Number two, after 2 weeks, if the spider female brings forth the egg, now they've hatched, they're hungry, and now she's weak. She can't go hunting. Or she's thinking, if I go hunting, by the time I come back, some animal will eat my spiderling. So she stays. In doing so, she's hungry. So she eats some of the spiderlings. They're trying to run away, and she used her claws to catch them and eat them. That's horror. Awhan. The most horrible house. Allah used the word horrible. It's horror. You know the movie horror? People eating people. Horror. وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ. Those who you think will protect you, their house is like the spider's house. Horror. They will eat you. So she eat the spiderling. And number 3, if the food is not forthcoming, the grown spiderling, the strong survive and the weak fall apart. So the young spiderling begin to eat one another. If you are not strong, your brethren and sisters will eat you. Another horror. It's like a movie house. They eat themselves. Horror. The final blow. If food is scarce, the spiderlings have grown. The female spider, she unleashes an instinct, killer instinct. She releases a pheromone. Some gas will come out of her hindback. That's the pheromone. Once she releases that, the spiderling, they will read that to mean, come and eat me. So they will rush on their mother and they eat her. They call that in science mathogeny. Mathogeny is the process whereby the spiderling eats their mom to survive. So when Allah said, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ أَوْلِيَاءَ, those whom you think will protect you, can't you see that their house is a horror house? They're going to eat you. Allah said, oh, وَإِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ Baytul Ankabut. The most horrible of our houses is that of the spider. Then Allah said, لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. If you know the implication of this word, Ya Salam, how could Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam make those statements which is consistent with modernity? Who told him? So Allah said, لَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَشْهَدُ بِمَا أَنزَلَ إِلَيْكَ أَنزَلَهُ بِإِلْمِهِ وَمَلَائِكَةُ يَشْهَدُ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا. Allah, Ya Muhammad, whatever I reveal unto you, it is from my own fountainhead of knowledge. The angels who are around, they bear witness. Nay, I am the ultimate witness to see to it that what I've revealed is a fact. That is phase 1 of the spider's house. The second part is this. See, I live in New York City for like 20 years before moving to Seattle. When I was in school, I drive a taxi. Drive a yellow cab. Those of you who've been to New York, you see the yellow cab. Used to be a yellow cab driver for 14 years. I was driving the yellow and I was schooling, educating myself, supplementing, paying my school fees. I don't care about my friends. They buy houses all the time. They build houses upon houses. They drive. Me, I just say, you know what? I'm going to read. I'm hungry for education. So, on Wednesday, if you go to New York somehow, on Wednesday, they do open United Nations. People to visit. United Nations. Anytime you go, tell them you want to go to the Big Five. Where the Big Five, you know, the United States, Britain, I don't know, France, Russia, and China. This is where they sit. That is not right. Everybody will come and give a speech. Our Excellency President, he came. I was in New York. I was so happy. We went to see him when he came, United Nations. We greet him. So happy our president is here. He gave a speech, about 2.5 pages. But guess what? It's irrelevant. You nigger, get out of here. What you gonna tell us, man? Look at us, man. Coming from Africa. Fulani, a cow herder, a goat herder, a milk sponger like you. You're going to come to the United Nations and tell us what to do, man, please. But they'll give you the spotlight. You feel comfortable, but they don't need you. They don't need your word. They make that decision. 5 of them. The spider story befitting United Nations. I was giving a talk. I said, look, I have seen United Nations in the Quran. They said, come on, Mr. Muhammad Awwal. You see United Nations? Please get out of here, man. United Nations in the Quran. I say, yeah, it's in the Quran. They say, Allah, man, you too, attached with all this science. United Nations. I say, what? Are you surprised? As if couldn't Allah mention United Nations? I say, well, that's true. I say, well, Allah said, وَكُلُّ شَيْءٍ فَاسْتَنَاهُ تَفْصِيلًا. Each and everything is in the Quran. So I came to give a lecture. And that lecture is so clear and succinct. Listen, United Nations, the same verse of the Ankabut. I'm asking the question, what is the emblem of United Nations? What is the flag of United Nations? Spider's web. What is inside that web? What is inside that spider's web? Globe, world map. To catch us, to eat us. Yes. They squeeze us, man. You want to catch fish? What do? You cast the net, right? It catches the spider. www.whatever. You want to catch information? That's what you do. So why would they choose spider's web as their emblem? That's the question. And then we are inside, man, we're in trouble. They're going to eat us. And they are eating us in one way or the other. Allah said, look, anything you run, United Nations, Allah said, look at their house. It's like that of the spider. And wallahi, if you go and see where the big five sit, it's built with a glass. The glass is like a spider, like this and like this. It's like a dome. The inside. I said, Subhanallah. Ya salam. Allah said, don't you see their house is built like the spider's house? And Allah said, Law kanu ya'lamun. If you understand the implication of this spider. So the Quran is a book that mankind have to bow down to it.